guys, today I'm back here with another video, fresh football takes episode. And today I'll be giving my take on the footballer, the man, the myth, ice cold, no gloves. It's not even how it goes. It's black gloves, again to say. It's Anthony Martial. Um, yeah, so that's who we're going to be talking about. But I think before I get into giving my verdict in terms of what I think about the player, I think we need to kind of look at the stats. And yeah, so without further ado, let's go look at his 1920 season. So yeah, obviously I can't show you footage because Premier League and UEFA like to move mad and take down videos. But some of these guys, I don't know how they do it. They've dropped some decent Martial comps from his 1920 season, so I'll link that to you so you can see what I was seeing. But yeah, in that 1920 season, Martial contributed 23 goals and 12 assists in 45 appearances. When you split that up between the two seasons, in the first half of the season, he played 19 games and got a goal contribution in 11 of them. So overall, what percentage wise, he um, he contributed either a goal or assist in 58% of the games in the first half of the season. When you go to the second half of the season, he had 17 goal contributions in 26 games. So percentage wise, he did better statistically in the second half of the season because he contributed in 65% of the second half. He contributed in 65% of the games in the second half of the season. There we go. That was so wordy. Don't know why I'm making up stats that is so hard to flipping say. But yeah. When looking at these seasons, I think one thing you have to do, one of the things you have to take into account is the fact that Paul Pogba, in the first half of the season, one of United's top creators, well, only creator at the time that was of quality before Bruno came in, played 5 out of those 19 games that Martial played in the first half of the season. So the fact that Martial he still contributed in more than half those games whilst not having, a proper top quality creator to supply him chances, does show that there is quality in that player. Because Martial was relying on a group of inconsistent and unproductive players such as Andreas, Pereira, Fred, McTominay, Mata, and Lingard. I mean, people argue that Fred and McTominay they're not creators, they're more box to box players, but they're still in the midfield. And when the big names aren't in the team, there's still going to be that responsibility on them to step up in other players' absence, and they just didn't really do that. Ultimately, being around an upcoming Mason Greenwood and Rashford definitely helped Martial to keep contributing at such a semi-high level, as the combination play that those players uh, had was sensational to watch at times. Like the way they linked up on the pitch, it was a joy to watch in the first half of the 1920 season. Um, in the end, though, when you look at the season as a whole, you definitely think that Martial does have some quality, which I think became more visible in the second half of the season when he was surrounded with better players like Pogba and Bruno as they came into the squad. And United went on a mini unbeaten run, and in the end, he got more chances created for him, and so scored more goals. Uh, Although the season didn't finish as well as people would have wanted, it felt like Martial had finally kind of started to dip into his potential. And I high key thought that finally becoming the player some such as Thierry Henry thought he would become. Because his finishing was just crazy. The ruthlessness was mad. Hold up play was crazy. Everything was just top quality. I look at last season and I'm like, what the hell happened? But like, yeah, let's just look at what happened next season. So it's safe to say that this was not a memorable season for Martial, to say the least. Last season, it just was not. He dropped what? So he had 36 appearances, and he dropped what? 7 goals and 9 assists. So that's what? 16 goal contributions in total. So basically, when you put it in percentages, uh, in the first half of the season, he played 17 games and got 9 goals or assists. So that's what, 52% of the games in the first half of the season, Martial contributed. So, and then you look at the second half of the season, and he got what, 3 goals or assists in 19 appearances. So what, he contributed to 16% of United's games with a goal or assist in the second half of the season. 16%, bruv. Not 6-0, 1-6. It's embarrassing, to say the least. Yeah, but from a fan perspective as well, it was painful to watch. Because, like, especially considering how well he did last season, you're thinking, okay, he's going to step up, but just it wasn't to be. But I'm gonna try and pick out some strengths that he did of this guy, and because there are some. I think last season, season before that, throughout his career at United, he's definitely shown that link up play is one of his strong points. Whenever I watch him, the way he just links up little 1-2s with Rashford or Greenwood or Bruno, like it is entertaining to watch at times. Like, he's worked hard to keep that part of his game at a good level at least, which is good and has helped United at times. His hold up play has been really, really good. It's helped build his case for why he should be playing as a 9. The way he just holds off defenders with such ease. Like, he's decent with his back to goal. Martial is definitely not as clinical as he should have been for sure last season. But, like, if there was anything that remained remotely close to his 1920 season ability wise, it was his link up and his hold up play, without a doubt. I think that was some of the best attacks that United had put last season. They just flowed so well when he was playing at that 9 position, linking up and holding it up. One perfect example, if you manage to find, if I do find the comp for this game, I'll put it in the description because it was top. But it was Martial's man of the match performance when United beat City at the Etihad. I think Luke Shaw grabbed the goal that game. Yeah. Martial didn't score or assist because I don't think he didn't get any goals or assists because his finishing hasn't been as good as it was the season before last, but everything else was top quality. So yeah, that was a perfect example of his strengths on show, I think. And there are many other examples, but that was the one game that stood out for me, I think. But there's a reason he didn't hit certain heights that were expected of him last season, because he has so much he needs to work on. I think one thing he definitely needs to work on is his finishing. It was awful last season. He got in so many good areas last season, and he could have easily have finished the season with 30 plus goal contributions. As soon as I said he could have easily got more goals last season, and I started. Is it the first picture that came to mind was that open goal against PSG that he missed? That was so painful. Hurts even more knowing that if we won that, we would have gone through group wise, but ended up playing Europa League football, and even then that didn't work out. So, anyways, getting off topic, Martial. If he needs to become more clinical and work on composure, because I feel like a lot of times he was in areas where I'm expecting him to be ice cold, and he's moving lukewarm. He's rushing the decisions. He's moving like the football's like lava, bro, and just reacting rather than just doing what I thought is his nature, and it's being composed and ruthless and ice cold. And I don't know, man. Just watching him, it felt like he's lacked confidence, and that's really screwed. It really screwed him over last season. Um, Another thing that annoyed me about Martial that he needs to work on is his movement in the box. Like when you watch Cavani, it came even clearer. It hits you even more that this is definitely a part of the game that Martial needs to work on the most if it's not his finishing, because like it's very irritating that Cavani is mid 30s and he moves more around the box than Martial. It doesn't make sense. That there were too many occasions last season when Martial needed to make a run and he just didn't. And there were a few occasions that he did make a run and he ended up actually stuff happened. Like I remember the Sheffield game where United won 3-2. Pogba did some mad roulette at the time in that game, but that wasn't even the best part. The best part was Martial and Pogba did like um this like it was like like in NBA where they have like set plays that they practiced in training and they run. Like that's what it felt like I was watching. Like Pogba and Martial practiced a set play in training and they pulled it off. And I'm just like, Martial needs to do more stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You got man like Bruno and Pogba that can ping some mad passes when they try properly. But I'm just like, if Martial works on that movement, you know what I'm saying? Makes more runs, not every day back to goal, like an old fashioned number 9. You know what I'm saying? If he works on that and does more of those, he'll get even more opportunities to score. But not only that, it will actually help reduce the amount of goals we concede. Because a lot of goals we concede were being put under pressure, and we keep giving the ball away stupid amount of times because the forwards aren't making the runs that we need at times when we're trying to bring it out from the back. Yeah, I just think overall his movement in the box, even when crosses are coming in as well, I'm like, why are you not attacking the ball? You're waiting for the ball to come to you. Or why are you not making that run to the front post or back post? He's too static, man. He needs to work on that movement in the box. Um, yeah, I think lastly, I kind of this isn't just like a problem with Martial, but it, it's a problem that Rashford and Greenwood have, and because of the front three, like that's the dream front three: Martial, Rashford, Greenwood. Probably not in the way I said it. Like Martial probably up front, Rashford left, Greenwood right. Um, well, now Sancho's coming in, so we'll see how Sancho's here, so we'll see how that will work. It'll probably be something like uh, Rashford, Greenwood, Sancho, or Rashford, Cavani, Sancho. Anyways, if Martial's in the team, like he needs to definitely work on the runs because all these three love the ball to feet. And when you got sat navs like Bruno and Pogba in the midfield, they need to be you man need to be making runs. Do you know what I mean? There needs to be movement in behind. I want to see these guys with their heads towards goal, bro, not their backs. I want to see them running at the goal. Do you know what I mean? Not with the ball at their feet all the time, but I want to see them making more runs, and I want to see Bruno, Pogba. I don't care if McTominay and Fred can't do it right now. They can work on it until don't go back to your families until you can play at least 12 good through balls in training. Do you know what I'm saying? I need to see these man playing over the top through balls. I'm talking to you, McTominay and Fred. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you got to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, they have pace when they move with the ball. Imagine the amount of pace they would be showcasing without the ball. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Rashford make runs and he doesn't receive the ball. We've seen Greenwood do it as well. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Martial making runs and I want to see them man flipping screaming at McTominay and Fred for not at least even trying to play those passes. You know what I'm saying? Because the amount of times that we needed a run and we needed the midfielder to pick it out, it doesn't happen enough. You know what I'm saying? It's not just it's not just the movement in the box. You know what I'm saying? You need to be more flexible. That's the word I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? Someone who can receive the ball to feet, but also moving in behind. And I feel like Martial, especially last season, it was back to goal or nothing else. And for me, that's not it, bro. I need to see more runs in behind from you next season. So yeah, that's it for things I think Martial needs to work on. So what is next for him? Well, who knows? The fan base is very, very divided. Some want him sold, some want him loaned, some want him kept. Personally, I want him to stay. I think there is a great player in there. I think with the better acquisitions that we'll get next season, he can exceed. He can exceed what he did in the 1920 season. But ultimately, it's up to the player. You know what I'm saying? It's up to him to work on his finishing, his movement, his mental state, as well as that, because he needs to go into next season confident and ready to compete with Cavani um, for that number 9 position. And ultimately, I'm expecting a 25 to 35 goal contribution season for him. I do not care how stubborn McTominay and Fred are. You will have to go into the training room and completely curse at them at French if you have to, just to get them to start playing the ball over to you when you start patterning your movement and making runs. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you have to bring out a Kane and give them 20, 35 lashes. I want to see McTominay, Fred, Pogba, whoever comes in the midfield, playing balls in behind to Martial, making runs. That's what I want to see. Not every day back to goal. When Telles or Shaw or Wan-Bissaka or Sancho or even Rashford want to put a ball in the box, I want to see Martial attacking that ball, bruv. Not every day stand still and wait for it to come to you. That's what I want to be seeing. I want to be seeing goals from this guy, bruv. That's what I'm expecting. And if he does not finish that season with 25 plus or 25 plus to 35 goal contributions next season, then it's fine. United can choose to sell him or loan him out or go all out for Haaland. I have Haaland. Sorry, I personally would not be angry if that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like some fans, they'll be upset. But personally, if Martial's not hitting what we need, we're gonna have to go and look for it elsewhere for someone that's gonna give it to us on a consistent basis. Because I I cannot go through 2021 season again, bro. Okay, in all the times that Wayne Rooney was here, I ain't remember no 2021 season here, bro. That's the expectations that we've got at this club. We need to be title contenders, and we cannot be contending if our finishers are not finishing. You see me? Greenwood last season as well, but that's another story for another day. That's another video for another day. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, that's my verdict on Martial. A decent player, but I don't know if he's gonna hit his potential. It's purely down to him and him working on his game and how he chooses to be with his teammates. You know what I'm saying? If he chooses to get on their case for not doing X, Y, or Z in game, that would help him out and get him into those goal scoring positions. So, but yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. That's my take on Martial, and I'll see you soon. Au revoir.